Hello, Garrick Wordmuller here, and today I'm talking about the TILA Respa Integrated Disclosures Act coming out October 3rd, subject to change 2015, or TRID. So what is changing in the loan industry with these TRID changes? Well, currently you get a good faith estimate, a truth in lending statement, and a Respa servicing disclosure when you apply for a loan. Well, those are going bye-bye, and instead we're going to have this new loan estimate. And the HUD-1 you sign at signing is also going bye-bye, and you're going to have this new closing disclosure. There are new timing requirements involved with this. Basically, the loan estimate must be given to the borrower within 3 business days of the application. The waiting period then thereafter is 7 days until we can close the loan. That's 7 business days, defined Monday through Friday on the loan estimate. There's a review time that gives the consumer time to review it, 10 business days after it is delivered. And then I think the biggest change here is the closing disclosure is due 3 business days prior to closing, which is brand new. And if there's any changes, it could slow things up a little bit. Now, what are the 3 major changes that will require a new 3-day review and slow things up a little bit in closing your transaction? If the APR increases, that means if for some reason the loan gets a little more expensive, if a prepayment penalty is added, or if you decide to go from a fixed to an adjustable rate mortgage, that will slow up the process. Things that will not require a 3-day review. Unexpected discoveries on a walkthrough. If you're buying a house and you find something and you want to sell or credit, it's not going to hurt anything. If real estate commissions change, tax utility proration or escrows change, that's not going to change anything. Should there be a typo on a document, we can still proceed. So let's look at the loan estimate. Basically, on page 1 at the top, you have the loan details, including the applicant's information, the loan number, etc. We have loan terms right underneath that, then your payment information, taxes and insurance, and your closing costs. That's what you'll find on page 1. Page 2 has a breakdown of the closing costs. Then it has your cash to close, as well as adjustable rate information. Then on page 3 is a summary of the lender, the originator's information, and a comparison section. And then let's take a look at the closing disclosure. Basically on page 1, very similar, we have the loan summary, the terms, the payment information, taxes, insurance, and closing costs. Page 2, we basically have a breakdown of line items just like the old HUD-1. Page 3 is cash to close, and then the summary transaction, just like the old HUD-1 on page 1, that breaks down the different buyer and seller fees and line items. And then the amount to or from the borrower and the buyer and seller. Page 4 includes disclosure information. We have your adjustable rate information at the bottom as pertinent, and then you have loan info. This is the formal truth in lending statement and other disclosure items up at the top of page 5, along with contact information, and there you have it. So best ways to prevent the domino effect in this market is review seller, realtor fees, and credits with escrow company early in the process. We should get everything done within the first 10 days, and communicate. Also, let's not make last-minute changes. We make sure we're going to go over everything with the borrower before locking, make sure everything's dialed in so we don't have to deal with any last-minute surprises. And work with a lender you trust. As you can see, we're on top of this. We want to make sure your escrows are handled carefully and close on time, and we're here to help you. And if you have any questions, here's my information. I'm Garrick Wordmuller with First Priority Financial. Thanks in advance for forwarding this video to your friends, sharing it on your social media sites, etc. I appreciate you. We're here to help you. Bye.